Go ahead. Give me an introduction. I'll pop.
Chris, do the honors.
We proudly present to you my dad. Everybody knows him, Nicefield.
Well, hello. How are you guys doing? Good to see you. Are you wearing deodorant? It smells.
Can you smell it?
Smells like you are.
Yeah.
Wilson's biggest fan, Dad Rice Peel's biggest dad. I didn't realize you could change your name more after you named it.
Yeah, you just click on the name and then you can type in it.
Oh, okay. That's great because I've been having to do business, some like work meeting stuff. It doesn't involve, a friendly chat, and I realized that it says Chatty Daddy. I'm like, how do I change that? Hey, are you in pitch dark right now?
I guess so. Can you see me?
No. I'm wondering how you're going to emerge from this.
How do you?
Yeah, I feel like
I stay in the black the whole time. Should I be in the black the whole time?
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it's a little racist of you, but sure.
Is this considered blackface?
Yeah, yeah.
Because my face isn't white anymore. Well, today my face is red. Actually, I don't know if you can tell either.
It might be a little bit of it might be racist against all invisible men. Oh wow, look at you! Just see, you're doing it again.
What race are invisible men? That's a good question.
Invisible, and women, men and women. It's not it's not separated by.
Assume their gender, Chad.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
this is
invisible
2020.
People. Invisible right. They. They're fluid. The
Invisible They.
Invisible They. Also a great band name.
I feel like that's like an art rock band waiting to happen.
Oh yeah. Oh my, yeah, I get it. Cool. I have a list of band names.
Chris has a list of YouTube series spin-offs from this that he's going to do.
Chris has a list of neighborhoods he's not allowed in it. Chris, are you still there? Oh, he went full invisible bang.
What did he do?
This is my turtle Grant.
It looks like it's dripping all over your keyboard. What's up, Grant?
It is. She's dripping.
Oh, dude.
I got him out of the tank.
You see, you broke it. Grant ruined your computer. Hey, Grant.
Chris, can you hear us? We can't hear you anymore.
I really want to know what those what is that? I want to know what those sound like, and I can't hear it. Chris, give me a thumbs up if you can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Whoa, we can hear you now.
Did you unplug the USB?
I think my turtle dripped all over the USB, but I was trying to, the camera's in this low corner, so it's kind of weird. This whole thing's a little awkward for me, but I tried to get the turtle to be the only thing that showed up, but I also had the light all the way over here, and I must have just knocked it out and then I dripped all over, and this isn't my computer.
So Chad, what's been up, man? What you been doing in the quarantine?
How was bingo?
Yeah, bingo. It was cool. It was bingo was fun. That was probably the most exciting event up until this that I've had with like communication. I did a couple FaceTime chats with my family. Nice. Other than that, it's just been Kim and I here, and her friend, our friend that lives in the same building, came over a couple of times to
nice.
To share in an Easter dinner.
Oh.
Yeah. Other than that, writing music, hanging out, rescheduling my flight home from LA to Michigan 4 times. So.
Oh my God.
That's usually my most exciting moment of the day is when I reschedule my flight again.
It's something I look forward to every day.
Why do you have to keep rescheduling? Is because of the whole mess of the virus and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the easy answer is I don't have to reschedule it, but it seems like it seems really irresponsible of me to leave where I'm at now, travel to a airport, go through that whole version of being in close proximity of so many other people, then being on a vessel, which I'm not sure how many people might be on it, but we're all enclosed, and then getting into Detroit. And I mean, I'm fine, right? I mean, I have no symptoms, but because the asymptomatic factors that are involved, or just be
except like how hot you are.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, besides being besides the obvious of how hot I am, I wouldn't want to show up there and hurt anybody with my heat. So I make those things cool down a little bit. But yeah, I keep
think that's
waiting.
a safe decision.
Yeah, and also the stay-at-home orders. It's it's a little bit more difficult, I suppose. I think to be alone. I don't know if you guys are completely alone, but I would be alone back home.
Yeah.
No, it's tough.
I think you're probably better off being basically stuck in LA.
Yeah, I mean, the weather is awesome too, which is nice because you can just see it outside, and just like, oh man, it's probably 95 out there right now.
Yeah, look at that weather.
Yeah,
it looks like that bum's got his shirt off. So. I don't know if you probably where we're at, but the action has been white hot, piping hot.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Speaking like literally, there was garbage fires a couple of nights ago across the street from us. A constant ambulance and fire trucks and police squads. I mean, we've had probably about five to six times. We've had like literal I'd have to show you a video, find it while we're talking, but
send it to us.
Cops like swarming in to the streets. I'll show you this one really quick, where every time it ends up being like what I feel like is absolutely nothing. In particular, this time they had the entire main street shut down and probably 30 plus cop cars for this one kid that was like outside of a plain white van, and the cops like had the kid, and they were like, I mean, dude, there was like so many guns on the street right in front, like literally right in front of our window. And
I mean, that's not a quiet street in downtown LA, but it's also not a crazy one on a regular day. No, yeah. I mean, we're, because it's downtown. So if you're here in downtown, it's because you're here for work or you live here, or you're part of Skid Row. There is a lot of action. Or like you're visiting, or like you decided like, hey, what's downtown LA look like? I want to go see it. Look at it. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? But yeah, I mean, there's like just not a lot of. There's a lot of business and there's a lot of things that go on down here in Detroit. Tons of theaters, things like. Downtown LA, tons of theaters and stuff. But it's not like West Hollywood or it's not as convoluted, I should say. But then you see things like this. Oh my God! Right now, outside of our window, this van. So it's a 2-minute long video. I don't want to bore you with the details of that until you start to see. I think I zoom in. Okay, here they are. So they're surrounding. Is that it? I think I got it. So the van, you see that white van?
Yeah.
They're surrounding that white van, and they all have their guns drawn. What? Did they open the van door? Yeah, so they just open it and there's nothing in there. And they just walk away.
What?
Yeah. They're this kid and they put him in the back of a car, and then like the 30 cop cars that were there just like drive away. And then later on that night, they were back outside here. Here's something else while we're on this. This is pretty interesting stuff. If I do say so myself.
I'm interested. I'm very interested.
Here is a garbage dumpster fire across the street. Anyway, that's the other night. That's a lot more interesting than what goes on in the suburbs of Detroit that we live in. Yeah, it is very. Here's another one I wanted to show you real quick, and then it's very, very fun. So this is yesterday, a car protest.
Oh, you guys had a car protest down there too?
And then at night, you get these amazing things like, this is every night.
Oh yeah.
8 o'clock, you know, they do the whole
cheering the workers and
yeah.
Nice.
So there's a ton of noise that happens down here and a ton of action, but it's either on the super awesome side or the world is going to end.
It all seems to be pretty loud too.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Recording vocals is like a non-starter. Like I went off like a whole thing, one of these guys, and you know, I'm like, I'll just demo it. Nope.
When Kim signed on earlier, I heard a bunch of ambulance. Like when she started, I was like, oh, is this gonna be happening the whole time? It went away. I don't know what it was.
It's just they briefly run by here like all day long. There they are again.
Yeah, I heard that. Dude, I've been amazed at how many morons have gone out protesting in different states. Like the first one that I saw was the Lansing one, the Michigan one, and then there was Minnesota, and there was I didn't know that there was one in LA. Did that just happen the other day?
Yesterday. This is my favorite one.
What's that say?
Get a brain, morons.
I liked the one that says we the PP.
Yeah.
from Lansing.
So I screenshotted a ton of them. I have a whole like folder in my phone of like just the ridiculousness like that people like. This is another one. Seemingly by just because you can never tell just by looks. Like this girl looks like she wouldn't be a complete idiot, but
I can't read it.
Oh, it says hashtag. The best one is the bottom. So it says hashtag.
Oh, I think I've seen this one.
Yeah, hashtag my Governor is an idiot. Hashtag witless. Please help us. We being hostage.
Being hostage.
Y'all feel me?
Have you listened to those interviews of those people who are protesting too?
Yeah,
some of them are just like ridiculous. It's just
the craziest thing for me is, I mean, it's not that I'm. But let me preface this by saying I'm absolutely not pro what they're doing, you know, like, and I'm by all stretch of the word a Democrat, more or less a liberal Democrat, and not to get political here, but the idea, I understand where their minds are at because they don't know what to do, and more or less it's about education, and which is it is really jarring when you think about like just the simple things when they're misspelling things, putting them on signs, one thing. But there's tools out there for a lot of folks, and everybody's in the same boat with those tools. For instance, I had to apply for unemployment because I lost my job, and it took me a month to get my money from unemployment.
Dude, I've been seeing so many stories like that where, I mean, it's like 6 weeks and everything went through, but there's a delay with the money for whatever reason, and then they can't get through to anybody at the unemployment office.
Yeah.
And then I've seen somebody was I can't remember who it was. Somebody was posting about that same story and saying then that like whoever they talked to like erased their claim or like reset their claim to like fix the issue. And they're like, that didn't fix anything. You just made it harder.
Yeah. I mean, when they're like, they said, I'll watch the video because I was getting really nervous. Every week I would file my claim, and my claim for benefits and my claim would come up with, I was approved, but the money wasn't delivered because of open non-monetary issue. And I don't know what that is, and I can't get a hold of anybody. So I will watch all these YouTube videos that the government, the UIA would put up, just answering people's like online questions or whatever, try to figure out what that issue was. Turns out there was a thing that was mailed back to my house that needed to check my identity. I don't know why, because I moved recently. So I had to have my neighbor get into my house, get my mail, because my mail comes into the house, open up the thing, take a picture of the document, find my birth certificate in my house, take a picture of my birth certificate, and then she sent those to me, in which I printed the paper out, filled it out, and then used a phone fax system to send it over there and attach them internally in the MyWem account thing. And it still took 2 weeks. for anything to happen. And I didn't
talk
know
about like a terrible situation where like not only is it hard to just get through to unemployment and get the benefits, but you're in LA, across the country, away from your home that you rent here in Metro Detroit, and with no access to the documents you need to actually finish the process. I mean, that's I couldn't imagine a scarier situation trying to deal with all that.
I didn't know what the answer was. I didn't know what was going on. So I just watched when I watched. Luckily, I watched those videos and figured out that some people also had similar things, and there was some mail that showed up there. So by determination of maybe that's what's going on with me. They didn't tell me, by the way, when
you had to use the powers of deduction.
Yeah, I mean, and I still don't know if that was the issue. I don't know if I solved the issue by doing that. All I know is I looked at my bank account last night, and it said that the funds that I should have been paid are pending. So I went to
that's good.
my one. Yeah. We'll see. The show up, it'll be good.
Yeah.
But as of now,
so a bunch of people got their $1,200 stimulus checks last week or the week before, whenever it was, and the stipulant, I think, was like if you had already in your 2018 or 2019 taxes, done, or at any point had direct deposited refund come to you, then it should be no problem. You should get that stimulus package without really any issues. And so like I saw everybody I know, Chris included, be like, yeah, I got my $1,200 today. And I was like, I didn't. And then, so we were texting with Kim, and she asked us if we had gotten it, and Chris was like, yeah. And I was like, nope, I still haven't. And she's like, okay, I haven't either. And I just texted her today to say, like, on that IRS website where it has the get my payment link where you can kind of figure out whether what your status is. It was showing us this message before where it was like, there's not enough information to determine your payment status. I went back to it today, and it had me fill out like a direct deposit thing. So I texted her and was like, hey, let me at least do this. So hopefully that means they're going to deposit that soon, now that they actually have that. Or at least now that I'm sure that they have it, because I've gotten refunded, deposited into my account before, but last year I paid in, and I was like, I don't know if that's going to be an issue or not.
Maybe. I mean, that's crazy. So you didn't get yours. I had got that stimulus deposited a few weeks ago, I think. Whenever that time period is that you're referring to, I just woke up and it was in my account. Again, there's no notifications, so you don't know unless you check your bank account or you have set up notifications mobily. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that's happening, because that one I just don't even know how to like start to find.
I mean, it's weird because like it seems to be just they're throwing it out in waves, and there's no rhyme or reason to how it's going out at this point.
Yeah,
but
I mean, circling back to the protesters or whatnot, like you just described your situation, in his situation, Chris's situation are the same but different. You're both getting the money, just one person's gotten it beforehand and the other person hasn't and doesn't know why. And with unemployment, there's still now they've released the federal, the PUA, pandemic unemployment funds, and that goes for anybody, any of those 1090, the people the hairdressers, the Uber drivers, all of that, and it exists. But most people are they don't know or don't have the tools to get it, or don't maybe just are so used to a certain way of this is how money comes in and this is how money comes out, that the idea of doing something different to get it right now is just beyond them. And that's the unfortunate. I think
there's also those that have the resources but choose to ignore them.
Sure.
And I want to show you an example here. You may have seen this already, but this lady is baffling to me, but also hilarious. So I don't know if
aren't you concerned you could infect other people if you get sick inside?
No.
People who don't go to this
No.
church.
I'm covered in Jesus' blood.
Yeah. All that.
I'm covered in Jesus' blood. I won't get the virus.
this.
Driving out of this Ohio parking lot is a woman who just attended a church service with dozens of other people, including children.
Can I ask you about your decision to go to church, to be inside that building?
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Aren't you concerned you could infect other people if you get sick inside?
No.
People who don't go to this
No.
church.
I'm covered in Jesus' blood. I'm covered in Jesus'
But what
blood.
about other people who don't go to this church who you might encounter?
All of these people go to this church.
No, but you're going to be in places where other people...
I go to the
Everybody
grocery
goes to
store
this
every
church.
day. I'm in Walmart,
What?
Home Depot, all of those
But you
people.
could get them sick from what happens in
They
the
could
church.
get me sick, but they're not because I'm covered in his blood. Thank you very much.
She's acting like she gets this all the time.
Didn't that pastor too? Isn't that the specific church where the pastor actually got it and died?
I think that is the one.
Yeah.
I think that's why that was like in the news and going around the internet,
Right.
because it came out of that church. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's why I thought that started to get passed around even more. Not just because it's some dumb lady saying something completely idiotic, but
It's not only is it like that's not how it works, and in general, I don't know much about the church and Jesus.
I don't think that's what medical doctors would say. But if I had to guess,
when you walk into the middle of the street and you say, "Go ahead, car, take me out," and Jesus' blood is all over this, you know.
I didn't know there was still Jesus' blood around. I thought that we'd run out of all that
years ago.
And I know it has a lot of benefits, but I didn't know it stopped this too. I mean, Jesus didn't even know about this one.
Yeah, she's suspect number one for the person that needs the most hand sanitizer.
It's like, that's blood on her? I thought that was just a shirt.
What if you know what would be funny is if churches started to like make their own hand sanitizer, but said like the blood of Christ, and like started selling it to the congregation.
Oh yeah. You saw that was the pastor, was it Kentucky? He was all over the news because he was doing the same thing. He wasn't closing down. He was ignoring the governor's stay-at-home
I don't
orders.
know about that one, but do you know about this one?
He got arrested.
Hold on.
Did really?
Yeah.
COVID-19! COVID-19! I blow the wind of God.
The wind of God.
On you.
On you.
You are destroyed forever.
You are destroyed forever.
And you'll never be back.
I think
You did
it. Your face says it all.
The end.
The worst part about that is like if you have followed up with like, what is COVID-19? How do people get it, and where does it come in from? It's literally the saliva.
What you just did?
Yeah, what you just did in your.
I blow.
There it is.
The wind of God.
There it is.
We showed a little bit of this thing.
COVID-19.
You've got the virus now.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm blowing it away. It's like you just gave it to everyone. Everyone who's watching
Transmitted it
this.
through the camera that you're recording on to everybody that watches your live stream.
The craziest thing about some of these evangelicalists is like, how could you look at these humans? Like, seriously, like, how could you just like, if you put a lineup of human beings out there and you said, who do you trust? That's going to be the last person that I look at and say, yeah, I'm going to be like following him for sure for the rest of my life. They all look crazy.
He's got so
have
many
you seen
followers
this guy
too.
before?
No.
You don't know who Kenneth Copeland is?
No, I do not.
Okay,
He's not just a regular. He's like the king of them.
He's been around for a really long time. He's up there with like the Joel Osteen, like televangelist crazy people. But this guy like is like pure evil. I mean, I got to see if I can find this clip in a bit. Hold on. But before I look for this, there's another part of what I just showed you, which is a remix.
Looks awesome.
Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord. COVID-19.
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 I blow straight out of hell. Burn! Burn! COVID-19!
COVID-19.
COVID-19!
COVID-19.
I blow the wind of God. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You get out of here now. Burn. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You get out of here. Burn this thing. COVID-19.
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 I blow the wind of God.
That face is the scariest thing I think I've ever seen.
Wow, when did it come out? April 8th, so it's been out, it has some time. 1.5 million. No one, that's crazy.
Oh my.
Yeah, great song. Good hook too.
That thing
Oh,
comes in so hype. I'm so ready to jam to it every time.
This is a face that you just see in your nightmares. I got to see if I
Spitting
can.
venom.
So this guy, if you don't know, he apparently bought a private jet from Tyler Perry, and he may have more than one private jet at this point. But like, this guy's got money. He's got some deep pockets, and he is a piece of human garbage. But there's this clip of him where a reporter is asking him about the jet, and I got to see if I can find it because it's one of the scariest things I've ever.
Was this a recent gift of his? Sorry, I wanted to open the window. So
I don't remember when this was.
You talking about the jet? Or are you talking
Yeah.
about him giving the gift of his breath for the COVID-19? That was pretty recent. The jet, I'm not really too sure about. It's just crazy that he has so much money and he's so popular.
I found it.
followed.
I found it. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna share the screen again.
Split pea soup before that too. Seems like a split pea soup guy.
Peace porridge hot. Now it's cold.
Okay, here we go.
Isn't it true that you want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business, but...
Isn't it the business of your donors?
Listen, I paid. You kind of caught me off guard here, okay?
Certainly. Well, if you'd like to come out here, I'd like to give you a chance to catch your breath and have a conversation. We don't want to catch you off guard.
I love Inside Edition. You got to get this now. Hey, you listening to me? My wife thinks Inside Edition is, oh yeah. Now, thank you, Lord. Help me. Just let me pray this thing.
Well, let me just ask you a really simple question.
Let me just buy a few minutes of time here and think about what my answer is going to be.
Give me a minute to pray.
Give me a minute to pray. Oh, Lord, here we go.
A lot of people think it's unbecoming for a preacher to live a life of luxury and to fly around in private jets. What's your response to that?
Very simple. It takes a lot of money to do what we do. We have brought over 100, let's see, the latest figures just came out, 122 million people to the Lord Jesus Christ. Let me give you another example. Last May, I was scheduled for Lagos, Nigeria. That's a long ways.
Just choking on a piece of pizza.
I had a week off.
Oh my God,
Dude.
this smile is just killing me. It's demonic.
Yeah,
It looks like
it's
So-
the eyes.
So is he saying, let me get this right, that so the reason he gets to have all this money is because he brought 122 million people to the Lord?
That's basically what he's saying.
I think what he's saying too is that it takes a lot of money in order to bring that many people to the Lord. It's not the most popularized fictional story of all time.
Yes.
People they know how to get the Bible. It's like in every single motel.
Yeah.
And in all
It's
of
the
the
number
world.
one selling book in the world.
They're still putting it in drawers, at motels and hotels.
It's on the internet, page by page, Kindle. Look it up.
You can find
And
it
I
on
was scheduled
footnotes.
for Peru. And I prayed about it, and I thought, I'm not missing that dedication in Jerusalem. without
What?
Dude, this guy's
I'm not
absolutely
missing
terrifying.
that dedication in Jerusalem.
Man.
Oh my God.
That's terrifying. And there's the reality is, why do you want to give this guy your money? Like, why do you want to stand there? Is it because you want to feel a part of something?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
If there's 1.5 million people, you're an ant. From the human's eye looking down, like you're not individualized, so you're just becoming. Is it herd mentality? I don't know.
I think so.
It's resembling a cult kind of thing to me. It's like you have a leader and a bunch of followers, and I don't know if he's manipulated them or if if they really think that he is the one who's going to give them access to God or Jesus, or I don't know what exactly they're looking for. Enlightenment, heaven.
It's kind of like the branches of the government, where you have the president, he's the president, but really nothing. You have to have like the House of Representatives and the Senate, and they control a bunch of other things. So it's just like a trickle down effect. It's like it's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. You draw that pyramid around it. That means it's a pyramid scheme.
Did you see the SNL Whitmer skit?
I saw that it was there. I
I've
didn't
only
watch
seen
it though.
Like, be posted around the internet, but I haven't actually watched it yet.
I saw it.
You should watch it. But my favorite part from it all, what I've gathered from it, is the ignorance speaking of Trumpers, the ignorance of some of those folks who like didn't understand that it was SNL poking fun at the protesters.
Yeah.
And the whole bit is like very clearly poking fun at like what she has been having to go through, as a female governor that's also Democrat at this time, with Trump's remarks about being the woman from Michigan. But like there was a lot of people in there who were like, yeah, good for SNL making fun of Gretchen Whitmer or whatever. It's like even Gretchen Whitmer
clearly didn't watch the same skit.
Yeah, and they gave her like the character gave Gretchen Whitmer like a Canadian accent a little bit, for obvious reasons. But she responded.
I saw that she responded to holding the two-hearted and was like, hey, you got everything right except for the part about the beer. We're from Michigan. We drink Michigan beers.
How cool is that? When she took the office, no one would have predicted that. When anybody took the office, nobody could have predicted this, except for if you were a scientist and you're paying attention to trends and the way that things are kind of like happening in general in like the world. But regardless, I think that there's something to be said about her reaction and her lack of fear in her reaction.
There's something about her that reminds me of the way that Obama handled himself in similar situations, and just like how she's really able to take it and make light of it, and almost turn it into comedy, but still do her job.
Yeah.
That was always something that I respected about Obama, is that he was never afraid to go do a bit or go, be funny on somebody's show.
He had a few good moments with that.
Yeah. If anything, I think it strengthens your position, your humanity.
Yeah.
That's.
If you can show people that you're human and that you are relatable, I think that definitely helps. And I think that all the people that are the mouth breathing idiots that are protesting her with no information are
dude, the Michigan ones, like they just, their areas up north, so like I was looking at the numbers, and everything north of pretty much Oakland County hasn't had much cases with it at all. So they're kind of like freaking out, like, hey, this doesn't affect me kind of attitude, which is super ignorant, isn't it?
There was
like
also the commissioner of Royal Oak was up there, spotted up there, and was asked to resign, and then she made some comments of like, I didn't do anything. Oh boy, here we go.
There's probably a lot of people from this Detroit area that are going up north and spending time in their cabins and stuff, and that's how you get it in those areas. They'll be
that's the whole problem is when you're allowed to travel to your vacation home, is if there's people that live in those communities, and that's how it spreads further.
They have even fewer resources up there than we do down here.
Exactly.
It'd be so bad.
If we've learned anything from Kevin Bacon is that there's 7 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
You can trace, there's a game where you can trace back Kevin Bacon to any actor or actress. There's 7 moves.
Oh,
right?
really?
It's the same thing when it comes down to a disease. Like, you know, like you have this person, I'm infected, right? I don't know that I'm infected. I have asymptomatic things going on with me anyways. I go over to my grandmother's house, right? For a family gathering, in which case 6 of my family members from different parts of Michigan, whether that's like Jackson or Kalamazoo or whatever, they all come into that room, and then they all go back, and they all have kids, right? They all come with them. They all go back to their own spaces or see their friends or whatever it is, and it just keeps going, just like a little spider web. And that's what 7 degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon is, and it's the same exact process.
There's a game we like to play called 7 Degrees of Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin is at the top, and he gives it to these 2 people, and they give it to these. And then you have
scheme.
It's a pyramid scheme.
COVID-19 pyramid scheme.
You should totally make a Kevin diagram to show everybody how this works by using 7 degrees. Kevin.
Chad, what up?
What up, dude?
Speaking of,
what's up, Kev?
I said that is very appropriate.
Oh yeah, and you put it out. Messenger birds, 7 degrees of Kevin, and
7
Kevin has coronavirus, and you can just show, or Kevin is Kevin, and Kevin has the coronavirus, and you can show how it all works out.
Kevin goes out with his 2 friends.
Yeah,
his 2 friends go hang out with their 2 friends.
It's amazing
their
how
2
unlimited.
Friends go hang out with their 2 friends, and by the time you get to this bottom layer, now you got 7 degrees of Kevin, and everybody's infected. That's how you
guess what? Kevin is dead. Like, oh, it's dead now. What's gonna happen? Well, remember when Shirley came over to hang out with Kevin? Shirley got it. She's now suspect number 1. You know. So.
And that's how you trace it.
Yeah.
So Keisho said you guys have been playing a lot of board games. Is that true?
Liar. I went and ordered Guess Who and a escape room game. We have not played the escape room game. We have played Guess Who a bunch of times. I think I also ordered escape room thinking in my head, I think it could be played with 2 players, but as soon as we started to open it up, I was just going to look at it, see if it's possible to play with 2 players. But when we opened the box up, it has this like disclaimer right on it. Underneath when it says do not proceed any further if you're not ready to escape from this or whatever. I'm like, well, just see if we can play it as 2 people. And then I got nervous and I was like, I'll just wait until there's 4 people. But we did a bunch of projects. Like for instance, I don't know if you can see this. It's one of my favorite handy pieces. See that box right up there, right on the wall, right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's two pieces of cardboard that I taped together and then nailed into the wall above the event so that the AC that blows from there, there's only 2 vents in the space, so when it blows from there, it has some pushback, so it goes out further into the main room. I hung up these guitars.
Handy man.
And then we did that. You probably saw the
wallpaper.
The wallpaper, we saw that.
That was sick.
I wish you could see this masterpiece, which is the desk that I set up. This is a pretty good level. You can see this.
You do some cribs things?
I don't know if you can see it, but there's picture frames that are all on the wall up there.
Oh, I think it's on the, yeah. Yep.
Put them all up. It's no big deal.
No big deal. I just hang picture frames. It's no big deal.
Dude, you hung most of your things. You hung guitars. Cardboard.
I hung this chair.
Well, that looks expensive.
Yeah, it was. I got a deal. It's a Herman Miller and does like a really cool chairs. And I got a deal on this website for like way cheaper than they normally are. It was a refurbished chair, and that there was notices of that upon buying it on the website. But he had to like search through different tabs to find out that.
Did you let them know that you didn't know how to read and that was why?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, freaking dumb though, dude."
Dude, not everybody knows how to read. People got to be more sensitive about that.
She told me like, "Are you an idiot? That chair normally sells for like $1,700, and you got it for like not like a fraction of that." And I was like, "Yeah, that's why I bought it."
You didn't tell me it was. You didn't tell me it was defected.
What, you
I wouldn't
thought
have
I was
bought
gonna
it.
buy it at full price? What do you think I am, an idiot?
Yeah, no. But it was a whole debacle because they sent me the shipping tracking ID, and then every day it just says hasn't shipped yet for like a month. I was like, so I was like, dude, what's going on with my chair? And she's like, I'll tell the office to expedite the shipping. We put these together by hand. I'm like, wow. Herman Miller's not sending you their products in pieces for you to put together to send to me. That's what I'm thinking in the back of my head. Yeah. But when I responded back to her, what I realized was that they probably stole this chair from some old office they found, and then like had to like rehab some of the parts and use some other like broken toy parts to put the thing together. Anyways.
Oh yeah, they probably got like there's chairs that were super damaged that they couldn't use, so they still left leftover parts, so they're Frankenstein kind of style.
It's like a junkyard.
You get like Fisher Price Lego
they're junkyard
and like
like all the different parts that they would normally have. I wish I could show them all to you because there's like a little tension band in there that like puts a lumbar support when you twist this thing into you, but the tension band's just like poked through the mesh of the chair back here, and it looks like if somebody actually used a hair tie to like get the tension band to like pull itself into the back of your back. It's yeah.
Why would they do that? How could they do that?
Money from me.
Of all people, I would hope they wouldn't do this to you.
I sent a very Karen email. Super Karen. I used like a bunch of jargon that would make her think that maybe I knew the consumer law. Like, yeah. But I was like, if I scare her, maybe she'll send me my money back.
Listen, Karen, let me tell you about this thing that I know about.
I know your boss.
I
know your boss's boss.
I know your mom.
I did. I searched her on the internet to figure out where she lives. So
she would be super upset if she knew about this. She would come right down. She'd be marching, and she'd be pointing her finger, and she'd be telling you, "Give Chad all of his things back."
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Bertha, her mother, Evelyn's mother. I'm gonna say, like, what do you think your mom Bertha's that lives at Cherry Street in New Jersey, New Brunswick, New Jersey? What do you think she's gonna think about this consumer fraud that you're committing? Anyways, yeah.
So you got your money back, didn't you?
That was today. We'll see. But I'm not sending the chair back. She thinks she's gonna get the chair back.
She better not. She better not get that chair back.
You better not think that.
But I do know where she lived. I do know where she and her mother, her lawfully registered mother, live in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
You looked up on the mother's registry website of all mothers.
Well, she's listed on
your
Facebook.
Mother. I found her on the website. I know who she is. I know where she lives. Don't make me call or email your mother.
Yeah,
dude, an email would be way worse. It's like professionally upset.
Yeah, you have time to actually think about it.
I'm gonna send her a message on Pinterest. Her mother.
She's making little swans, some things, little fabric swans.
Yeah. If you're looking for any other junkyard parts for your chair, Mrs. Evelyn's mom,
put together not very good, and you're gonna die, and she's gonna feel terrible about it.
I hope her mother has like a local restaurant, and I can just Yelp destroy her. Never been there. Evelyn's mom, Karen, is gonna get a lashing from me at Yelp.
Oh, what's the restaurant that she owns? Karen's restaurant? Let me put a bad Yelp review on
Karen's Corner. Never eaten there again. Karen's Corner. For the whole entire life, making different Yelp pages, profiles, so I can just decimate Karen's Corner.
Karen's Corner.
Hey,
I've never had a nicer meal in my life.
Yeah, I hate it one or two ways.
I thought it was delicious, but I pooped for 6 days.
Yeah. You're at 3 out of 4 stars.
Service couldn't have been better. I don't understand why they treated me so nice.
Yeah.
People are never gonna eat there again.
No. Well, I was gonna let her know there's an ultimatum here. Either she's at 3 out of 4 stars. I can bring her down to 2 stars, or I can bring her up to 4 stars. But it all depends on what her daughter Evelyn over at Office Chair at Work does with my chair. It's got to be the best thing that I could. It's just sitting in absolute freedom. with my free chair.
There's nothing like freedom. Am I right, boys?
No. I mean, yes, you are right. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thank you for being on this, man.
What's in that closet back there? I think you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's
What's
clothes, man.
Skeletons?
This is what I should be wearing is all my girlfriend's clothes without her knowing it.
Wait, those are
You
your
should just put
girlfriend's
all
clothes?
of them on.
Yeah.
Your
At the same
girlfriend,
time.
your girlfriend has the wardrobe of a 70-year-old man. Is that? It looks like a bunch of like plaid jackets and like.
It looks definitely more weird in this.
It looks like plaid jackets and what's the word I'm trying to think of? Cardigans.
It is kind
yeah.
of like, yeah. You got some paisley. You got some
Christmas time. Looks like from my view.
Ugly sweaters.
Some dresses. Wow, it's
You
really.
should put some of it on. Just
Fashion show.
I can wear this. I can wear this.
for the interwebs. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. Is that a jacket?
No, it's just a scarf. This is a plaid scarf.
Oh, my bad.
That'd
That is
It'd be sweet if it was a jacket.
that is a millennial scarf for sure.
That's how you wear that.
This is a really not scary ghost. A ghost that wants to just kind of hang out and be your friend.
Yeah, or like take you to a VFW hall or something.
And it goes, a boo.
What other kind of ghosts you got?
What's in your closet behind you, Parker?
That's a window.
Oh, is that what it is? Or is it actually a tiny little
I'll
closet
show
with
you.
all your tiny little things? Is that a window looking into another room in your house?
I think that's a reflection.
Oh. Doesn't it look like a?
It does. No, I agree. No, that I know for a fact because I've been looking through that window a lot of times. It goes outside.
Oh, nice. Okay. I thought maybe he had a window that was looking.
Well, that might be the house that's next door too. I don't know exactly what we were looking at, but
We were wondering if that window was a window that actually was just looking into another room of your house because the reflection it looks like another room is behind it.
Nope. It looks into the neighbor's house.
Nice.
That's
What are they up to,
where I do
dude?
my peeping Tom business.
Guy named Tom lives there, huh?
Tom lives there. I pee on him.
Are you cool with your neighbors?
I don't know them.
No.
That's a good place to be. Can't be
So
wrong.
you're not
Can't be
cool
right.
with them.
I don't
You're
think I've
very
ever
neutral.
seen them in my life.
Hmm.
Don't know what they look
Maybe
like.
they miss you. Maybe they'd like to see you. Maybe now is the right time.
I mean, I've tried to see them. I've looked through that window once a day.
But they're not there ever,
They're
are
never
they?
there.
Wow. How about you, Chris? Do you have neighbors next to you?
Yeah, I got a neighbor on the other side of that wall and underneath this floor.
Do you know them? Do you know anybody that lives with you?
Yeah, I know them all pretty much. Not like very well, but like I could say hello and talk to them.
You guys like could you like do it like a dinner something like that?
I could do a dinner. Yeah,
Like
I've done it.
yelling through the floor. Hey, how's your pasta?
Come and get some. You know, dinner's ready or whatever.
Give them some extra sauce.
Is the broccoli okay? Not too soft?
No, it's okay. I like it soft. I like soft broccoli.
So I'm a huge Toadies fan. I'll be real quick with this. It's my favorite band. And the Toadies Helmet and the Toadies played at the Crofoot. This is years ago, probably like 7 or 8 years ago. So you have to preface this. Not only is it my favorite band, it's how Todd, the singer, is by emulating his voice when I was in middle school when the record Rubberneck came out. Is how I learned how to put like gravel on my, that sort of like feeling, that sort of like gravelly response to the with the vocal cords. That's how I learned. I learned it through him. And I also learned how to play guitar through Nirvana and the Toadies. Big deal for me. However, even bigger than that, when my old band Airs broke up and I was living in Port Huron, I moved to Texas for 3 reasons, 33% across the board reasons. 1 was dating a girl. She lived in Texas. You would think that'd be the whole reason? Not. Didn't care about that as much as. Number 2, starting a new band with friends of mine that I toured with at one point in time. They're from Texas. Number 3, the Toadies are from Texas. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, so I think that by a few like moves on the chessboard, I could meet Todd, who is the singer. And I've always wanted Possum Kingdom to be played at my wedding. Do you want to die? Like if you're familiar with the song or not, that's one of the most popular lyrics. But so I was like, and I'm thinking in my mind, like I could probably meet him, and then I bet you I could convince him to be my friend. And then, a little bit of time, I could probably convince him to play the song at my wedding. It's a crazy thought, right? I don't know why I thought I was able to do that. I never met him, but when he showed up, you flash forward years later, I moved back to Michigan, started working with Crofoot. This is what I'm talking about. He's playing the Crofoot Ballroom. They get done playing. The tour manager comes into the office to settle with me. I'm writing the check, and I'm telling him some of the stories I just told you. He said, "Do you want to meet him?" And I'm like, yeah, I do, but I just, it'd be weird. And he brings him in to introduce me to him, and I'm even doing it right now. And he comes in, and I basically did that Chris Farley thing where I'm like, I started talking about a music video for this song off of that record, Rubberneck, and I was like, "You remember that music video?" And he said, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, no.
My favorite music video. So, okay, it's nice to meet you. It's so hard. I'm like, dude, you could have said all of the things in the world to this dude. And the first thing you say is, "Do you remember the music video for I Come From the Water?" Yeah. This is a great music video. Anyways.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, it looks like we're out of time here, but Chad, thank you for being on here. And
thanks for having me.
We miss you. We hope you're good out in LA.
I can't wait to see you again, man.
Take care of our manager for us.
I will.
And yeah, we miss you. We love you, and we hope we talk to you soon.
I miss you both, and I love you both, and I can't wait to see you.
Yeah, thank you for being our dad.
Thanks for inviting me, and thanks for doing this. It's really rad. I'm excited to watch all of the season, all of the episodes to come.
Me too.
That means a lot. Thank you.
They're coming. Bye.
Bye, Chad.
Bye.